What's going on, guys? My name is Derek. Welcome to the channel. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and if you're watching this in 2023, then Happy New Year as well. Hopefully 2023 will be a fantastic year for you, so wishing you all the best in the coming years. On the channel today, we are working on the S1000RR Track bike again. We are doing our BrenTuning ECU flash. Thank you to my loving wife who got me this ECU flash. Really looking forward to doing this. This won't be an in-depth video, long step-by-step kind of thing. I'm going to hit the highlights and go through it. Why? There's not a whole lot to see here when you're doing this flash. Secondly, it's freezing outside, so after I flash it, I can't ride it. And lastly, the bike is more than 10 years old. This flash has been around forever and a day, which means there's lots of content out there on YouTube and other social media platforms. In fact, BrenTuning has a series of videos on installing this and how to go about sending information back and forth to them and so forth. So again, I won't go into great detail, but I will do the flash here for you guys. But without further ado, let's do a quick unboxing and then we'll get right to the bike. All right, guys, so here is our BT Moto handheld flasher for our S1000RR. Coincidentally, it is made by DimSport, who happens to be the same maker of our Rapid Bike Evo fuel controller and ignition control module that we already have on the S1000RR bike. Just thought that was interesting. If we open it up here, what's in the box is the flasher itself that is relabeled, rebranded BT Moto. I'm not exactly sure how DimSport or BT Moto does it, but this is locked to one bike. So if you sell the bike, you got to send this along with it. You can't use this and have it reprogrammed for another bike. Technically you can, but BT Moto is getting away from that, and I think they only offer that service for the original purchaser of the item. So this is locked to the bikes. What else is in here? We have a couple of cables. So we have the USB cable. This is for connecting the device to your laptop or your desktop PC. And then we have the cable that connects the device to your bike. And then there's just some documentation in here about how to go about downloading the software. It's called My Genius. Where we are going to pick up in the next clip, I'm going to be working on the bike. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to take your USB cable and your flasher. You want to head on over to your laptop or desktop or whatever. You'll want to go to this URL, https://tinyurl.com/mygsetup. MyG stands for My Genius. And that will take you right to the URL where you can download the software for this device to your desktop. You can also go to the BrenTuning website. There's also a link on there to download the My Genius software, but this has the latest version. I don't think the BrenTuning site has the latest version. So get the latest, go to this one, tinyurl.com/mygsetup, download the software. You'll then plug this unit into your desktop and it will get the latest firmware and software and everything for this guy. Then come back here and we'll pick up for the next clip. All right, guys, so we're over here at the bike. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take our cable here. You see there's an arrow on it there. We want to plug it into our CAN bus port. You just line up the arrows. Twist on, put it into place. Take the other end, plug it into here, and the unit will come on. We'll wait for it to do its thing. We'll select work, BMW. We'll find our bike. So we got S1000RR. We'll select our year, 09 to 2014. Say yes, please connect your bike to blah, 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 blah. Switch on the dash. Switch off the dash. Press OK. Switch on the dash again. Switch off the dash. Flash protocol OK. Okay. Switch off. All right, now we are done IDing the bike. We can head back to the computer. So now that we're back to our computer, we can open My Genius. We will connect our handheld flash unit to the computer. Just plug it in via the USB cable. It'll read. And when it's done, we should have some other options there to download. Okay, so you can see we have our other options are now highlighted. We got upload and download, so we're going to download from My Genius. Click next. It's going to ask us where to put it. I am going to put it in a specific folder. So I'm going to put it in my S1000RR folder. I already also have one for my V4 Speciale, so that's why I have two folders there. Move that up. Say OK. Say next. And confirm. All right, that's complete. We can close that. And there is the file. It opened right up to my desktop, BT Moto S1000RR, and there's my file. Now we want to open our email, and we want to email this file to the BrenTuning guys. And there's instructions on BrenTuning's website. So if you go to btmoto.com, you pull that up, click on resources, scroll down to your make. So we got a BMW. And here's my bike, 2010 to 2014 S1000RR. Down here, there are videos, documents, and links. So you can watch a video and they go through the process, this particular one right here, of how to download the file and send it in. You can also just read the instructions over here if you don't want to watch a video. And you just follow those instructions. Once that is done, once you send them the file, they will respond with a questionnaire. That questionnaire will be, I don't know, 20 to 30 questions long. They really want to know what engine modifications or performance modifications you've made to the engine. So did you put on a slip-on exhaust? Did you put on a full exhaust? Did you just replace the headers? Do you have a high-flow air filter? Do you have a piggyback fuel controller or a piggyback ignition controller? Are you still running the stock O2 sensors? Do you have wideband O2 sensors? Are you not running any O2s at all? Stuff like that. They don't need to know that you replace the body parts with all carbon fiber body parts, or you got a tinted windscreen, or you got some new LED turn signals. They're not interested in that. Only the performance stuff. Okay guys, so you've answered the questionnaire at this point. And BrenTuning has responded with an email with a file or files, depending on what you purchased. Once you get those files, you download them from the email to whatever folder. I put mine here, so it'll be in a similar file format to what you sent them earlier. So it'll say My Genius file with a date timestamp. What you need to know here is that this file that you sent them, to begin with, this is your base or your stock tune or flash. This one is the modified file. So whenever your bike goes to a dealer for anything at all, it doesn't make any difference whether it's a general state inspection that we have to have every year here in New Hampshire, or if they're just swapping tires or doing something very basic. Whenever it goes to a dealer, you'll want to upload this base stock file. If you don't do that and you take it to the dealer, chances are what they're going to do is they're going to plug it into their standard software. So if it's a BMW, they'll plug it into their BMW Motorrad software system to look for any updates for your bike. If it's a Ducati, they'll plug it into their standard Ducati software to see if there's any updates for your bike. And if there is, they're going to overwrite your BrenTuning file here. And that's going to cause you absolute havoc because you'll have to reach out to BrenTuning to reset your unit, to get a new flash file, and so that you can upload and get your flash back to where it was before. And BrenTuning doesn't do that for free. It's going to cost you a couple of $100 to do that. So here's our file. We need to upload this to our MyGenius handheld unit. So you simply plug your MyGenius back into your computer and open the MyGenius app. And I'm going to open MyGenius app here. And it'll read like before. So we're going to click the Upload to MyGenius option. We're going to say Next. We're going to browse to our desktop, BT Moto, whatever. Select our file to where it is. Click Open. It'll verify the file. We'll click Next. It'll give you some information about it. Click Confirm. It'll upload the file to the device. Okay, then it's successful. As you can see here, we can click Close. And now we can head to the bike. Okay guys, so we're just about ready to flash the bike. Before we do that, BrenTuning recommends two things. One, they recommend getting your bike on a battery tender. And two, they recommend starting the bike and letting it run for a few minutes before you actually do the flash. That way the battery is nice, fresh, and charged, and you have a battery tender to hold said charge. They said if during the flash process, if the battery drops volts, then things can go haywire and you can, brick your ECU. We don't want to do that. So we're going to follow their instructions. We're going to lower the bike down off the lift. I'm going to back it outside. I'm going to let it run for a few minutes. Then I'm going to bring the bike back in here and then we're going to flash it and that will be a wrap. So let's get to it. All right guys, we are back. Now we can grab our handheld unit and the special cable. We're going over to the bike, plug stuff in, and start to get this flashed. Okay guys, we are ready to flash the bike. I have the device set up over here on my bench. Obviously the cable is plugged in. As you see, we have power and we are on the main menu screen. So what we want to do from here is we want to select Work. Then we want to go to Writing. It'll display our file here. If we had multiple files, we could use the left and right arrows to navigate back and forth to the other files. So for example, if you purchased a level 2 or a level 3 flash from BrenTuning, you might get 2 or 3 files. So we only have one. This is level 1. So we only have one file, so there's nothing to navigate to. So we can select OK. And for the first gen S1000RR, this could take up to 15 or 20 minutes. So that's why you want to make sure that you are plugged into a battery tender. Make sure your bike is plugged into a stabilized battery. We are. Switch on the dash. Switch off the dash. Connect to a stabilized battery. It loves letting us know that. Switch on the dash. So if you're doing this on a current gen S1000RR or another bike, this is a point where you might see the dash displaying some errors and going a little bit crazy. But on the first gen, we typically don't have that. I don't have that, for example, displaying on my dash. So don't be alarmed if you're doing this on a 2021-22 S1000RR and you're getting a bunch of errors and flashes on your dash. That is completely normal. Switch off the dash. Follow the instructions. So what it's going to walk us through is it needs to learn or relearn the throttle position in wide open throttle, fully open, fully closed. I'm going to turn the accelerator. Press OK. Then I'm going to switch on the dash while continuing to hold the throttle wide open. Do not let the throttle go through this process. You want to leave the throttle in the wide open position until it tells you to do something else. So it's going to tell you again, meanwhile, keeping the throttle fully wide open. So now we can close the throttle, click OK, connect to a stabilized battery, switch off the dash, writing ECU complete, click OK. Jesus Christ. So now we're back to the work screen. The flash is complete. So let's say now your bike is about to go to the dealer and you want to put it back to the original. The process is very much the same. You would select work. You would go into writing again. And then here we have modified and original. So you would select original and then go through this process again and it would flash the bike back to original. Now, hopefully when you get your bike back from the dealer, they won't have updated the software. If they did update the software, regardless of whether you went back to the original or not, you'll have to contact BrenTuning to have this, have your flash redone again. My understanding is that the flash is tied to the software that is on the bike. And if the software is updated, then they need to update the flash as well. So it can be more difficult if they overwrite your flash versus them overwriting the original file. So that's what you would do. But we're done now. I'm going to start the bike here inside. My wife probably isn't going to like it, but we're going to go for it anyway. Our guest bedroom is right above us, so she's going to love this. Probably not going to like the smell too much either. All right, guys, that is a wrap for this video, I think. Like I said before, there's not a whole lot to see, not a whole lot to do when we're flashing the ECU with the BrenTuning handheld unit, or the DimSport handheld unit, I guess technically it is. But yeah, the bike is flashed, it's ready to go. Now I just have to sit around and wait a couple of months until it warms up so I can get it back out on the track and test it out and see how things go. I do still need to take it to a dyno tuner to have it fine-tuned with the Rapid Bike Evo unit, according to BrenTuning. This flash gets me close, but I should still take it to a tuner so I can fine-tune the stuff up top or whatever, it's fine-tuning the fueling for the Rapid Bike. I may or may not do that. We'll see how it runs as is. A couple of you have requested more I2M Chrome Pro 2 items, and we have the software and a firmware update that we need to do on this. So I'll probably do another couple of videos on the dash, the iTunes Chrome Pro 2 dash, and stuff from there coming. But you guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, or smash it if you didn't like the video. Until next time, guys, take care.